Remembering the Cosby Show cast members who have passed away. Then and now, 2026. They made us laugh, cry, and believe in the power of family, but what happened to the beloved stars of the Cosby Show will leave you speechless. From tragic illnesses to forgotten legacies, many of these actors faced heartbreaking endings the public never saw coming. This isn't just a tribute, it's a powerful reminder of the hidden struggles behind Hollywood's brightest smiles. Are you ready to uncover the real stories behind the fame hit? That like button, subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence, and let's honor the stars we lost, but will never forget. The truth begins now. The Cosby Show is widely regarded as one of the most influential sitcoms of the 1980s, dramatically reshaping how families were portrayed on television. With its ideal mix of heartwarming humor and valuable life lessons, the show offered both entertainment and thought-provoking moments. The Huxtable family stories not only brought laughter, but also instilled important human values that resonated deeply with its audience. It became a cornerstone of TV culture, leaving a lasting legacy. The show became a cultural sensation, not just because of its content, but also because of the talented cast who brought the beloved characters to life. Unfortunately, many of the actors who played key roles and helped make the show so successful have passed away over the years. In today's video, we will honor 42 actors from The Cosby Show who tragically left us celebrating their significant contributions to the entertainment world and the lasting impact they made on fans across the globe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating stories. Drop a 1 in the comments if you feel connected to these stars, or 0 if you have a different view. Let's jump in and explore their incredible legacies. Clarice Taylor, who portrayed Anna Huxtable in 1985, was a gifted actress with a career in Hollywood that was shaped by both triumphs and struggles. She had a long, respected presence in television and theater, but financial stability always seemed to remain just beyond her grasp. Although she brought an undeniable warmth and wisdom to her characters, her personal life was filled with hardships. She married, though her relationship was often considered unconventional, and in her later years, she spent much of her time in solitude. She didn't amass considerable wealth, though she owned a modest home and a handful of cherished personal possessions. As she entered her 80s, her health started to deteriorate, leading to regular hospital visits. Despite her significant contributions to the entertainment world, she never received the widespread recognition she truly deserved. In her later years, she lived in Englewood, New Jersey, where she passed away from congestive heart failure on May 30th, 2011, at the age of 93. Music. In 1986, he was a beloved entertainer with a distinguished career well known for his remarkable contributions to both the entertainment industry and humanitarian causes. His work, which spanned musical comedy and philanthropy, earned him great admiration and respect. However, despite his professional achievements, personal challenges often overshadowed his success. His appearance on The Cosby Show was just a small chapter in a much larger career. Yet it played a significant role in boosting his visibility and popularity with audiences. While he was adored by fans, his private life told a different, more turbulent story marked by struggles and conflict. His marriage to Sylvia, though initially strong, was often described as tumultuous. Despite their close bond, their relationship was strained by long separations and the complications brought on by infidelities. These challenges put a heavy toll on their connection, making it a difficult chapter in his life. While he continued to thrive professionally and was adored by fans, the difficulties in his personal life lingered, overshadowing the fulfillment his career provided. The ongoing tension and struggles within his marriage added a layer of complexity to his overall legacy. The couple had a daughter, Dana, but Kay's demanding career frequently took priority over his family life. Financially, he was more fortunate than most, amassing an estate worth around $10 million, which included a luxurious home in Beverly Hills and a collection of classic cars. However, his later years were marred by declining health due to hepatitis C, which eventually led to severe heart complications. On March 3, 1987, at the age of 76, he passed away from heart failure. Earl Heyman is perhaps most famous for his role as Russell Huxtable on The Cosby Show, 1984. A man of exceptional talent, Hyman led a largely solitary life. A trained actor with a profound passion for Shakespeare, he spent much of his career performing on stage and garnered widespread praise for his work. Despite his success, he never married and had no children, choosing instead to devote his life entirely to his craft. He found peace in Norway, where he purchased a home and often retreated to escape the demands of Hollywood. Financial stability enabled him to live a comfortable life with an estimated net worth of $5 million at the time of his passing. His assets included real estate in Norway, as well as a rare and valuable collection of books and manuscripts. In his later years, he moved into the home of fellow actor Lillian Booth in Englewood, New Jersey, where he spent his final days away from the public eye. He passed away peacefully on November 17, 2017, at the age of 91 from natural causes. Music. Michelle Thomas, who portrayed Justine Phillips in 1988, had a promising future ahead before tragedy struck. A talented and charismatic young actress, she was best known for her roles on The Cosby Show and Family Matters. While she kept much of her personal life out of the spotlight, she did have relationships with well-known figures in the entertainment world. Sadly, her flourishing career came to a sudden halt when she was diagnosed with a rare form of stomach cancer. Despite undergoing aggressive treatments, her condition continued to deteriorate, and she spent her final months in and out of the hospital before her passing. Michelle did not amass significant wealth as she prioritized her career over accumulating financial assets. Her belongings, however, held deep sentimental value and were treasured by her grieving family. Her untimely death at the age of 30 on December 23, 1998, left fans and colleagues heartbroken, as she had so much more to give and a bright future ahead of her. Rosalind Cash, who portrayed Dr. Hughes in 1986, was a trailblazing actress who relentlessly challenged racial and gender barriers in Hollywood. Though her life was filled with struggles while her role on The Cosby Show was relatively brief, it was part of a broader career that broke new ground for black actresses of her era. She never married or had children, instead choosing independence over conventional family life. Living in a modest home in Los Angeles, her most prized possession was a collection of art that reflected her profound appreciation for culture and her commitment to social activism. She never accumulated significant wealth, with her estate valued at approximately $500,000. Throughout her career, she faced numerous challenges, including Hollywood's reluctance to cast black women in leading roles, which restricted her opportunities. Despite being diagnosed with cancer, she faced the illness with quiet strength, continuing to work while battling the disease. On October 31, 1995, at the age of 56, she passed away from cancer, leaving behind a legacy of resilience and trailblazing efforts in an industry that often sidelined her. Music. Dizzy Gillespie, who portrayed Mr. Hampton on The Cosby Show in 1984, was not just an actor, but also a legendary jazz musician whose life was shaped by both triumph and personal struggles. His impact on music was unmatched. Yet behind the spotlight, he grappled with financial hardships and the weight of fame. Though he married Lorraine Willis, their relationship was often strained by his constant touring. He had no children, and later expressed regret over not having a more personal, grounded life. Despite his immense success, Dizzy Gillespie wasn't as wealthy as one might expect, with real estate valued at around $1.5 million, including a home in Englewood, New Jersey, and a priceless collection of musical instruments. In his final years, he faced a painful battle with pancreatic cancer. Yet he continued to perform and play music whenever possible. His estate was divided among family members, and he made lasting contributions to music education programs. He passed away on January 6, 1993, at the age of 75, leaving behind a legacy both in music and in the lives he touched through education. Music. Ella Stretch, best known for her role as Mrs. McGee in 1989, was a Broadway legend with a sharp wit and a larger-than-life presence. While her appearance on The Cosby Show was just a brief moment in her illustrious career, it became a significant part of her television legacy. Stretch was famous for her no-nonsense attitude and her unapologetic approach to life, including her long battle with alcoholism, which she fought for many years. She married actor John Bay in 1973, but their marriage remained childless, and his death deeply affected her, leaving her heartbroken. Music. Despite her immense success, Elaine Stretch often spoke candidly about feelings of loneliness and regret, especially regarding her decision not to have children. Financially, she was well off with an estate valued at around $20 million, which included her opulent home in Birmingham, Michigan, a collection of luxury cars and treasured Broadway memorabilia. In her later years, she lived in semi-retirement, openly expressing her frustrations with aging and declining health. She passed away on July 17, 2014, at the age of 89 in her home from natural causes. Music. Ethel Ayler, who portrayed Carrie Hanks on The Cosby Show in 1984, was a respected actress whose career was rooted in both the stage and screen. Despite her extensive body of work, she never attained widespread fame, and often found herself cast in supporting roles. The limited opportunities for older black actresses in Hollywood meant that while her career was steady, it never brought the financial rewards she truly deserved. She never married and had no children, dedicating her life entirely to her craft. Although she owned a modest home and had some savings, her financial situation was never particularly robust. In her later years, she enjoyed a quiet, peaceful life. Known for her role as Mrs. Hudson on The Cosby Show in 1991, she was an exceptionally talented actress, celebrated for her remarkable acting abilities and significant contributions to the entertainment world. She left a lasting impact across film, television, and theater, earning the love of audiences for her wide range of deep and meaningful roles. Unfortunately, her life was tragically cut short, and she was unable to continue her career in her later years. Her illustrious journey was interrupted not only by illness, but also by personal struggles. Lynn Thigpen, who portrayed Mrs. Hudson on The Cosby Show in 1991, was an extraordinarily talented actress. Tragically, her life was cut short before she could fully reap the rewards of her remarkable career. While she earned widespread acclaim across film, television, and theater, financial success eluded her, and she never enjoyed the wealth that should have accompanied her long tenure in the industry. She never married, and despite having close friendships, her personal life was often marked by solitude. She devoted almost all of her time to her work and had no children, which contributed to a sense of isolation in her later years. One of Lynn Thigpen's greatest challenges was the industry's failure to fully recognize her talent, as she was often relegated to supporting roles despite her immense abilities. She also battled ongoing health issues, which she kept largely private. Tragically, she passed away suddenly from a hemorrhagic stroke on March 12, 2003, at the age of 54. Her modest estate was primarily made up of personal belongings and professional memorabilia left without any direct heirs. Music. Roscoe Lee Brown, who portrayed Dr. Barris Foster in 1986, was an incredibly intelligent and refined individual. Yet his personal life remained largely a mystery. With his deep, commanding voice, he became a highly sought-after actor. But in private, he was a quiet and reserved man, never marrying or having children. His romantic life was often a subject of speculation, though he never publicly confirmed any relationships. Financially secure, he owned a comfortable home in Los Angeles and had a prized collection of rare books focused on poetry and art. His career spanned several decades, and he earned respect for both his eloquence and his remarkable talent. However, in his later years, he quietly battled stomach cancer, choosing not to share his diagnosis with many. Despite his condition, he continued to work, though he grew more reclusive as his health deteriorated. On April 11, 2007, at the age of 84, he passed away from the disease. Lou Myers, best known for his role as Mr. Davis in 1987, was a talented comedian, but the struggles he faced in his personal life were far from humorous. While he brought joy to audiences with his comedic timing, he battled numerous personal and financial hardships behind the scenes. He rarely spoke about his wife and children, and there were no public relationships, leading many to believe that he navigated his challenges in solitude. Despite a long career in television and film, Lou Myers never achieved the financial security that some of his peers enjoyed. His estate consisted mostly of personal belongings, stage memorabilia, and some financial assets. But he did not leave behind a large fortune. In his later years, health problems took a toll on him, leading to multiple hospitalizations. His final years were marked by a battle with pneumonia and heart failure. On February 19, 2013, at the age of 77, he passed away in Charleston, West Virginia. Music. Joe Williams, who portrayed Al Hanks in 1985, was a jazz legend known for his powerful voice, which earned him widespread fame. However, his private life was often marked by loneliness. While he was celebrated for his musical talents, his role on The Cosby Show was just one of many television appearances that highlighted his versatility as an artist. He married briefly, but his relationship ended quietly without children. Despite a successful career, Williams never amassed significant wealth. Music. While Joe Williams owned a modest home and a collection of classic cars, including a cherished Cadillac, he lived comfortably, but not lavishly, relying on royalties from his music for support. In his later years, he faced health challenges and financial disputes with some family members and associates attempting to gain control over his remaining assets. Although he continued to perform, his declining health led to increased isolation. On March 29, 1999, at the age of 80, Williams collapsed on the streets of Las Vegas and passed away from natural causes. Music. The actor who portrayed Dave in 1991 had a steady career, but it never brought him significant financial security. His home was comfortable yet unremarkable, and he lived a modest life, avoiding the excesses that often come with Hollywood fame. Dempsey married but went through a tumultuous relationship which ultimately led to estrangement. In his later years, he had children, though they weren't closely involved in his life, particularly during his final years. Music. One of the major tragedies in his life was his struggle with obscurity. Despite decades of work in the industry, he never achieved the level of fame that would have made him a household name, which contributed to financial instability as he aged. Another sorrow was his declining health, which forced him into early retirement. When he passed away on August 27, 1998, at the age of 69 from natural causes, his estate was modest, and little is known about his financial situation at the time of his death. The actress who portrayed a saleswoman on The Cosby Show in 1984 had a long and varied career. Yet she was often overlooked in the film and television industry. Despite her versatility, she was frequently cast in supporting roles but never reached widespread fame. Her marriage to her husband Philip Rose was one of the few constants in her life. Although their relationship was tested by long periods of separation due to work commitments, they never had children, which contributed to a sense of deep loneliness in her later years. Financially, she was stable but not wealthy, with her primary asset being a new apartment in New York City filled with personal mementos from her acting career. In her later years, she battled health issues and cervical cancer ultimately took its toll. She gradually withdrew from public life, making only rare appearances. Some of her estate, valued at around $1 million, was donated to charitable causes. She passed away on October 4, 2011, at the age of 85. Moses Gunn, who portrayed Homer in 1986, was a remarkable playwright, filmmaker, and actor. However, his career was often overshadowed by struggles with illness, industry discrimination, and financial instability. Despite his extraordinary talent, he never received the widespread recognition he truly deserved. He never married and had no children, choosing instead to dedicate his life entirely to his craft. His personal journey was filled with challenges, including health battles, and the hardships of being a black artist in Hollywood during that era. Share your thoughts on the actor who played Homer in 1986 in the comments below. If his story resonated with you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can stay updated on more fascinating stories. Moses Gunn struggled financially throughout much of his life, leaving behind a modest estate that included scripts, personal writings, and some spiritually significant assets. In his later years, he faced the debilitating effects of arthritis, compounded by complications from AIDS. As his health declined, he withdrew from public life, spending his final years in relative seclusion. On April 5, 1989, at the age of 59, he passed away in New York. The actor who portrayed Dr. Lotus in 1989 was a deeply respected figure with an imposing presence, but his personal life was clouded by sorrow. Known for his Shakespearean-style performances, Gunn's career never reached the financial success his immense talent deserved. In his later years, he lived modestly, residing in a quiet neighborhood rather than in a lavish estate. His mode of transportation was a simple, reliable car instead of a luxury vehicle. Although he married his longtime partner Gwen Wells, their relationship faced many challenges, especially due to his ongoing health issues. Their life together was fraught with challenges, and despite having a son named Justin, family tensions grew due to his declining health and ongoing financial struggles. One of the greatest tragedies of his life was his battle with chronic asthma, which often left him debilitated and hindered his ability to work. On top of that, he faced racial discrimination throughout his career, which restricted his opportunities in Hollywood. Despite his immense talent, he passed away on December 16, 1993 at the age of 64 due to complications from asthma. Music. The actor who portrayed David James in 1984 lived a life filled with both highs and lows. While he achieved fame and financial success, amassing a fortune that included a home and various personal assets, his wealth could not shield him from profound personal tragedies. He married twice, first to Maya St. John and later to Alan and Adal. Christoph St. John, who played David James in The Cosby Show in 1984, lived a life filled with both triumphs and heartbreaks. While he achieved fame and financial success, accumulating a fortune that included a home and personal assets, his wealth couldn't shield him from deep personal tragedies. He married twice, first to Maya St. John and later to Alan and Adal. However, both marriages ended in divorce, largely due to personal struggles and mental health challenges. He had 2 children, Julian and Paris. But his life was forever marked by the devastating loss of his son, Julian, who tragically took his own life in 2014. It was a loss from which he never truly recovered. Music. His grief led him into a downward spiral marked by bouts of depression and struggles with alcohol abuse. Another tragedy was his ongoing battle with mental health issues, as he was frequently in and out of treatment centers in his later years. When he passed away on February 3, 2019 at the age of 52 from hypertrophic heart disease, with alcohol being a contributing factor, he left behind a complicated estate. Financial disputes arose in the years following his death, adding another layer of difficulty to his already troubled legacy, music. The actor who portrayed Dr. Wexler in The Cosby Show in 1985 was a Hollywood star who not only acted but also worked behind the scenes as a producer. Despite achieving considerable success in the entertainment industry, his personal life was marked by instability. He married, but his demanding career often kept him away from home, creating tension in his relationships. Known for his sharp intelligence and business acumen, he accumulated his wealth primarily through television projects with real estate holdings valued at around $4 million. Music. His Beverly Hills home was filled with mementos from his illustrious career, including rare scripts and production notes from the shows he helped create. As he grew older, he gradually withdrew from public life, spending more time reflecting on his past achievements rather than pursuing new ones. His later years were relatively peaceful, and he continued to be respected within the industry. He passed away on January 11, 1997 at the age of 89 from natural causes. Music. The actor who played Dr. Dan Morgan in The Cosby Show in 1986 is best known for voicing Sebastian in The Little Mermaid. However, his life was far from the cheerful persona he brought to the screen. Although his role on The Cosby Show was small, his contributions to the entertainment industry were far-reaching. A man deeply dedicated to his family, he married and had children, balancing his personal life with significant professional and financial success. Music. The actor who played Dr. Lotus in The Cosby Show in 1989 was a highly respected figure known for his commanding presence and Shakespearean-style performances. Despite his immense talent, his career never reached the financial heights it deserved. In his later years, he lived modestly, opting for a quiet neighborhood over a lavish estate and driving a simple, reliable car instead of indulging in luxury vehicles. Although he married his longtime partner Gwen Wells, their relationship faced numerous challenges, particularly due to his ongoing health struggles. Their life together was filled with challenges, and despite having a son named Justin, family tensions grew due to his deteriorating health and ongoing financial difficulties. One of the greatest tragedies of his life was his battle with chronic asthma, which often left him debilitated and hindered his ability to work. Throughout his career, he also faced racial discrimination, which limited his opportunities in Hollywood. Despite his immense talent, he passed away on December 16, 1993, at the age of 64, from complications related to asthma. Music. The actor who played Coach Scott in The Cosby Show in 1985 was a distinguished actor and educator, but his life was full of struggles. Despite his undeniable talent, he often found himself constrained, limited by opportunities in Hollywood. He was a private person, rarely speaking about his personal life, although it was known that his relationships were difficult and often short-lived. He never had children, dedicating most of his energy to his craft and later to teaching aspiring actors. Financially, he was not as affluent as some of his colleagues, with his estate valued at around $1 million, primarily consisting of his home in Washington, D.C., and a collection of stage memorabilia. In his later years, he dedicated himself to mentoring students, sharing the knowledge he had acquired throughout his career. However, his declining health eventually forced him to retire from teaching. He passed away on August 9, 2012, at the age of 81 due to complications from a non-communicable disease. The actress who appeared as herself on The Cosby Show in 1985 was not only a pioneering figure in the entertainment industry, but also a passionate civil rights advocate. While she was publicly known for her grace and poise, her personal life was far more complicated. She married twice, and both of her marriages were strained by the racial and societal challenges of the era. The tragic loss of her son Teddy Jones in 1970 was a deep wound that she struggled to heal from throughout her life. Despite these hardships, she continued to make significant contributions to both her career and the civil rights movement. Music. Although she found financial success with an estate valued at approximately $20 million, her wealth offered little relief from the emotional burdens she carried. Her estate included a stunning home in New York City and a valuable collection of jewelry and artwork, much of which she later donated to civil rights organizations. In her final years, she chose to live in relative seclusion, making very few public appearances. She passed away on May 9, 2010, at the age of 92, due to heart failure, leaving behind a legacy of both personal and professional significance. The actor who portrayed Mr. Barker in 1985 was a respected stage and screen performer celebrated for his critically acclaimed career, though his personal life remained largely private. While he was renowned for his powerful presence on Broadway, his roles in television shows like The Cosby Show brought him financial security rather than broad recognition. Grizzard never married and had no children, choosing to devote himself entirely to his craft, which was his true passion. Music. He resided in a tastefully furnished apartment in New York City, filled with rare books and cherished stage memorabilia. Despite enjoying financial stability, he often reflected on the loneliness that accompanied his relentless pursuit of perfection. His estate, estimated at around $1. $5 million, was discreetly divided among close friends and family after his passing. In his final years, he fought a quiet battle with lung cancer, a disease he kept largely to himself until his health took a sharp decline. On October 2, 2007, at the age of 79, he passed away from complications related to the illness. Music. So who is your favorite member of The Cosby Show cast? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Over the years, we've had to say goodbye to many beloved stars, but their unforgettable performances continue to live on in our hearts. Their impact on television and the cherished memories they created will never fade. Drop a 1 if you connect with these stars, or a 0 if you have a different perspective. Don't forget to share your thoughts. The legacy of the Cosby Show cast reminds us that behind every beloved character was a real human being, with triumphs, struggles, and stories often left untold. As we honor their memory, we also confront the complexities of fame, aging, and recognition in Hollywood, especially for Black actors. Do you think these legends received the respect and legacy they truly deserved? Or were their contributions undervalued by the industry and forgotten too soon? Share your thoughts in the comments below. At Legends of Black Excellence, we keep their stories alive, truthfully, powerfully, and without compromise. Let's keep the conversation going.